Chapter 21, Part 1. Dave went into Walt's house. Sam was talking to Walt's wife when he entered. "Hi," she said as he walked in. "Made up your mind yet?" She looked at Dave directly, her gaze not wavering a bit. "No," answered Dave. "Frankly, we're against the idea of bringing a girl along." "I'm almost 17, Sam defended herself by saying, "and I just found out that Walt joined the Army at 17. It's more than that. We're going into a combat zone. We don't want to have to babysit anyone. Look, I'm half the age of you guys. I can pack just as much as you, and I'm in at least as good a shape as you guys are. That's not what we're questioning. If we get hit, you'll be part of a team, and we don't want to risk anyone trying to protect you or to have you freak out under pressure. War isn't a game." "Freak out? My dad's been taking me hunting since I was 7, and I got my first deer when I was 11. I've seen blood, Mr. Soldier." "Well, let's talk. Do you know what we're doing?" Sam considered that for a moment. "I thought it was refugees and stuff, setting up way stations for them like the Underground Railroad, but it sounds more like a war patrol or something." "Well, it is helping refugees, but it is in a war zone. We're going to try to help folks escape to New Hampshire and protect them from the as-if forces. They've been attacking and arresting folks, and I know that they are killing armed groups of people. Dave, I want to help those people. I can be a help on the team, I really can." She wasn't pleading, but she did come across as desperate to go. "I don't know, Sam. Let's talk a bit, then you'll meet the team. Then the guys and I will talk about it and let you know." Sam bit her lip and nodded. Dave thought she was trying not to say something. Whatever, she could listen a bit. "Do you have a military-style rifle?" "Yeah, my dad's SKS. "Well, we're using ARs and variants. They're M16s for citizens. I'll get one in town. Steve said you've hiked the Appalachian Trail in Washington in the winter. Tell me about that." Sam told Dave how she had always followed her brother around. When he was a Boy Scout and her father was a troop leader, she went along on their campouts, which were held monthly, every month, rain or shine. As part of a council project, she accompanied them on a 3-summer hike of the Appalachian Trail, starting in Georgia and eventually finishing in the Baxter State Park in Maine. Her winter hikes of Mount Washington, the highest peak in New England, and home of some of the most severe weather in the world, was done with her father, brother, and several others as a separate climb. She had attended a wilderness survival school in Alaska the summer prior as a gift from her parents. She had asked for nothing else for her 16th birthday and had gotten straight A's in school. Her parents acquiesced and let her go for 2 weeks. She then returned home through Wyoming, where she participated in a national outdoor leadership school hike of the Grand Teton Mountains, where the students had to carry all of their gear and food for 2 weeks in their packs. Dave considered. She had a lot of hiking and outdoor experience. "What about the radio?" "I have an extra license, and I was taking electrical engineering correspondence courses on the computer before all this happened. I'm going to be an engineer when this is done. I've made some radios from kits, and I built one by ordering parts from catalogs and stuff. Doc can set me up with a rig that uses just a little electricity, and he's going to give me a hand generator we can carry to power the rig." Dave sighed. If she was a guy, he'd have no problem with her going. But she wasn't a guy. "Let's meet the team and talk some more." Dave rounded up Will, Tony, and Jim and led them into the barn. They all sat around the table. Walt sat with them, as did a few of the other guys. Dave went around the table introducing Sam to the men. "Guys, this is Sam. Doc sent her to us as a commo expert, but we need to decide if we're going to take her. I want you all to talk to her, primarily the guys going, and then we'll ask her to step out while we decide, okay?" All the heads nodded. Walt took a cigarette out of his pack and lit it, blowing the smoke up and away from the table. "Well, Sam," he said, "tell us about yourself and why Dave and the others should take you along." Sam reiterated her story, filling in more details about setting up radio contacts on her hike in the Tetons using continuous wave, CW she called it, or Morse code, from a small low-powered radio she packed along. She also told them that she was an expert shot with a rifle and she felt her skills would be an asset to the team. Finally, she reached across the table, took one of Walt's cigarettes, and lit it defiantly. I am my own person and don't take crap from anyone either. If you want the best commo person you're ever going to see, you'll take me. She got up and walked out. The group sat there for a minute. So much for questions and answers, said Jim. Everyone laughed. Despite their reservations, they liked the spunky teenager. She certainly had filled her short life with some interesting adventures. Tony, what do you think? Asked Dave. She's better suited to this than me. My only qualification is that I walked here from Massachusetts, and I probably would be dead if I didn't get adopted as a stray dog, said Tony, eliciting more laughs from the group. Jim, I think we should try her out. But one F up and she's history. Will? Bring her. She's in better shape than a bunch of old has-beens, said Will, looking at Dave, Walt, Jim, and Steve in the eyes as he spoke. He was the youngest member of the team at 28, and she's definitely capable of carrying her own weight. Anyone else? Is there anyone else who can go? Doc says she's it. All the other guys are sick or older than us, Steve replied. I don't like it, said Walt. Everyone quieted down. Walt was, by more acceptance than anything else, the leader. She's a kid, and she stole my last cigarette. That pisses me off. Everyone laughed at him. Seriously, you guys talk about it. Dave, if you guys want her, take her. How about we talk about this as a team? We can sleep on it if you want. Dave looked at the team members. Tony spoke up. My mind's made up. She can come. Mine too, said Will. She's okay in my book. I want to think it over, said Jim. So do I, said Dave. Let's decide in the morning. We'll meet here with our stuff to pack and prep for the mission. Speaking of which, here's a packing list to copy. And after I talk to Sam, we can go over the op ward. I'll have her sit in on it, so if we do take her, we won't have to go over it again just for her. The meeting ended later than they thought it would. Sam had a lot of questions, which the team tolerated with remarkable restraint. The team went over maps of the areas Tony and Dave had come through, and did a map recon of the whole border area to look for other likely routes. These they marked for future reference. After ensuring that Sam understood they were going to make a decision tomorrow, the meeting broke up. Will agreed to drop Sam off back in town, as she had radio watch that night as part of Doc's commo team, and Will wanted to get a few things from his apartment in town. He was staying at Steve's for the duration. 0900 sharp we start, said Dave as they pulled on their coats. The team assembled well before 0900, except for Sam. Jim looked at Dave. Make up your mind, he asked. Yeah, you? Yep. Well, I say we try her out. Being out there with one of us goobers on the radio is too risky. But if she's trouble during training, we dump her. That's what I was thinking too, said Dave. He had talked to Sandy that morning over breakfast. She had convinced him to try her out. Sandy convinced you? Dave laughed. Yeah, how'd you know? My wife ragged on me all last night and this morning about it. If I didn't say yes, I wouldn't get to wiggle my bean for a month. They both laughed. Well, let's get started. The team laid out their gear in the barn. Dave went over the packing list to find any deficiencies. He had Will examine his pack. We're going to go over movement, patrol-based procedures, ambush drills, and all before we go. Refugees or not, we're treating this as a combat patrol. The team broke out a few cases of late-dated MREs and started stripping them, taking out anything they didn't want or need. Once the MRE bags were repacked, they were taped with green duct tape. Dave brought in a case of heat tabs from his truck and a box of disposable lighters he had purchased from a warehouse superstore a few years before. He laid them on the table for the team to use. A few minutes before 9, a car horn beeped. It's Sam, said Steve, coming in. You guys want to talk to her? Yeah, tell her we'll be right there. Putting on their coats, the team went outside to see a brown Bronco in front of the house, its tailpipe spewing white exhaust smoke in the chill morning air. The doors opened and Sam got out, accompanied by a man the team all knew. Hi, Sean, said Will. Sean was a member of the town's militia and had trained with Dave and the men many times now. Hi, I hear you got something to tell my daughter here. Yes, we do, answered Dave. Turning to Sam, he said, "You are in, provisionally. If we like the way you act in training, you can go. We have our reservations, but you've got your chance." Sam's face lit up. "You won't be sorry, Dave, really." Sean was smiling too. "Sam won't let you down, Dave. Ever since her brother joined the NHDF, she's been wanting to do her part." "Sean, she's only going if we think she's capable." "Oh, you'll see," said Sean, his confidence in Sam's abilities obvious in his voice. "You're going to want 10 more just like her." "I hope so. Look, Sam, we're going over our gear right now. You can go get your stuff and come back. We'll go over it then." "Oh no, I've got it here." "Oops, I have this too, for Walt." She pulled a manila envelope from her jacket. "It's a message from the NHDF. We have 10 days to report." Dave took the envelope from her. "You read a lot of messages meant for others?" "I received it last night on Radio Watch. I have to read it to copy it down." Dave felt silly. "Jim, will you tell Walt we have a message from HQ? Sam, go get your stuff and come back. We'll be here for the next 3 days to train." "I have my stuff in Dad's truck," she said. Sean and Sam went to the back of the truck. Swinging aside the spare tire, Sean pulled out Sam's pack and 3 large plastic totes. "Where do you want these?" he asked. "In the barn. Here, we'll help." "Let me get my SKS for Sam," said Sean, moving to the front of the truck. "It's okay, Sean. We'll set her up with an AR." "Are you sure? That's a lot of money." "We need her to have the same weapon as we do, for compatibility." "It's all right. She can give it back later." "If you say so, Dave. Let's get these things in the barn." Sam had a commercial pack, a Loewe. Unfortunately, it was purple. "We'll have to do something about your pack," he said to Sam. "We've got black dye around here somewhere." "Do we have to?" Sam asked. "Yes. We're going to make snow covers anyway, but yes, purple is not allowed. Got it?" "Yes," said Sam dejectedly. "If you're done here, I'll get going," said Sean. "Sure, Sean. We'll drop Sam off when we break. It'll be a few days." "I understand, Dave." Sam gave him a hug and he was gone, closing the barn door behind him. "Let's see what you got," said Dave to Sam. In the totes were food, clothes, and radio equipment, along with 2 small 12-volt motorcycle batteries. "These are the primary power for the radio," Sam pointed at a smallish radio on the table. "They'll give us 24 hours apiece. I have a large solar charger and Doc's hand generator to recharge them. We'll place the batteries on the table. I have an antenna in my handbook to help sizing it for whatever freaks we're on. Also, I've got a handheld 2-meter and spare batteries for it." "Looks good," remarked Dave. "We'll practice setting it up later. You'll need to teach us all how to use it." At this, Sam made a face. "Don't worry, we're not going to have to train you to train us, then leave you. If you're incapacitated, we'll all need to know how it works. Also, you've got to sleep sometimes." Sam grinned sheepishly. "Sorry, I have a lot to learn about this Army stuff." "We'll teach you that. I bet it's easier than this radio is." After helping Sam empty her pack and laying out her things on the table to help her decide what to repack, Jim said something Dave hadn't thought of. "So, Sam, where's your feminine hygiene products?" "I don't need them right now," said Sam, a little taken back by the subject broached by a 30-plus-year-old married man. "Not now, but what about on the trail?" Everyone looked from Jim to Sam. They hadn't thought of that. "I'll bring them next time." "Well," Jim said, "bring twice what you think you'll need. Stress can change your cycle. And as a medic, I may be able to use some for dressings if we need them." Sam nodded. I will." The team discussed their jobs with Sam and the training they were planning for the remainder of the week. "I'm going to draw up a schedule for the week. Some of you will give us classes on your specialties. If you guys will help Sam with her gear, I'll work one up now." The team agreed. Dave took up his notebook and coat and went to Walt's house to draw up a training schedule in quiet. The team was talking up a storm in high spirits with the forthcoming mission. Dave knew they would get less talkative and more somber as the launch date drew closer. An hour later, Dave and Walt entered the barn. The team looked up as a smiling Dave announced, "We have something for Sam. Sam, will you come up here a minute?" Curious, Sam approached them. "Since you didn't have anything decent in the way of weapons, I'm going to loan you this," said Walt, emphasizing the loan part. He held up a short AR-15. It's an AR and it's got an 11.5-inch barrel. Perfect for a commo queen. Sam took the little rifle and looked at it. Cute, she declared. Walt rolled his eyes. Cute, she says. Everyone laughed. They couldn't help but agree. It was a cute little gun.